Alright, hi. So you're going to be making this today. This is going to be part of your 3D printing driving license. The idea being if you can design this in Inventor, which is a very simple part, and then load it into this program called Cura, turn it into a bunch of data basically, and then install it on, get it to print on the 3D printers, you will have passed your driving license, and then I'll be happy to let you use the 3D printers on your own. So what you're going to do is load up Inventor first of all. Inventor is, that's the icon, where is it gone? This guy here that you're looking for. And when you load it up, it will probably look a little bit different to this. I imagine it will look something like that. Okay. If it doesn't, just click this little home button and then all is good. Right. There's loads you can do of Inventor, and you probably know, some of you will know more and some of you will know less already, depending on your background. But we're going to start just by making the simplest thing we can, which is a part. So go ahead, click Parts. And before you do anything else, save this somewhere where you'll know where it is. So if you click Save, it should automatically, it should automatically put it into your Documents Inventor. It's putting mine into a folder called Blimp, because I was making some other part the other day. But if you can put it, just make sure it's in your Documents Inventor and give it a name. So call it driving license or 3D printing license. If I could type, that'd be amazing. There we go. All right, good. So to make this cube, we're going to start with a sketch. So you kind of work from left to right in Inventor. So we start with a sketch, and it's going to ask us which work plane we'd like to draw our sketch onto. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to pick the horizontal one. And what you're going to do is go up and get the rectangle tool. And just starting from the blob in the center, you're going to click, move the mouse, and you'll see that these numbers are changing as it goes. But we're not going to click again. We're actually going to type the size of the cube we want. So we're going to press 20, and then we're going to press Tab and type 20 again. Now the graphics on my computer are a bit weird because it's got a really high res display, so it will look different on the school machines, but what we're trying to do is make a rectangle, or a square, sorry, that's 20 by 20. All right, when you've done that, you finish your sketch. Okay, now a little bit on maneuvering around in 3D space. So if you don't know how to do it already, the clicking and holding your middle mouse button will allow you to drag your view left and right. If you do the same thing, click and hold it, but hold down Shift on your keyboard, sorry, press Shift first and then click and hold, you'll see you can rotate your view around in 3D space. Now, we're only looking at a two-dimensional sketch at the moment, that's why it looks flat, but you can see that it's in 3D space. The third thing you can do with the middle button is zoom in and out by scrolling. All right. I've seen people using the tools over here. It's a lot more clunky, honestly. Shift and the middle button are pretty much all you need to navigate around in 3D in Inventor. So just practice that for a bit. Anyway, when you're familiar with zooming, panning, and rotating, then you can do the next step. So you're going to go to Extrude. And we're making a cube. So if it's 20 by 20 length and width, it needs to be 20 tall. Okay. If you're new to Inventor, you can also drag this little arrow if you're sort of freestyling things, but we want a specific measurement, so we're going to type 20. You've got other options here, just not that we need them now, but they're worth playing with. Look, if you click this arrow, it will reverse the direction it moves. If you click this arrow, it will put it 20, but half and half, 10 either side if you like. And that one allows you to do a different amount of extrusion up and down. All right, but we just want to go 20 up, so we're going to pick that. Click OK. Practice your moves again. So you've now made your first 3D object if you've never used Inventor before. Now we're obviously aiming for something a bit more complex. Where's my part? There we go. We're aiming to make this. So we have got to put this little, we're going to make this into a key ring. That was the kind of the idea behind this rubbish thing. We're going to put a hole through here and here to put the key ring loop through. We're going to round the edges, and then we're going to emboss, make R, well, I've made Rob, my initials, but maybe you can do your own if you've got some imagination. Make these as little indentations into the surface. Okay, so back to our part here that you're creating. Right, first thing we're going to do is make some sketches. for the holes, and we've got a hole from the top and a hole from the bottom. So we need to make a new sketch. So we go up here, and it wants you to choose where to draw the sketch. Now I'm going to click on this face here. Any of the side faces, doesn't really matter, and you'll see all the tools have turned into sketching, 2D sketching tools. That's how it works. It picks the tools for the stage you're at in the drawing process. This is what you got to get your head around if you've not used Inventor before. There's a process to how you draw. You start with sketches, turn the sketches into parts, and then you might add more sketches to those parts, and then in a later video we'll learn how we can combine parts to make assemblies, but don't worry about that for now. So get a circle, and just roughly in the top left corner, click, drag out a circle, and we want this circle to be 5mm. So just type 5, hit enter. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to position this circle 6mm from each side. We need to do this so that it lines up with the other one we're going to make in a minute. So go up to dimension now, and with the left mouse button, click the dot in the middle just once, and then click the top edge once. And then if you move, sorry, it would help if I clicked it, there we go. If you move your mouse, you'll see that you can position a dimension for it. So when we're doing drawings, you always put your dimension where you can read them. All right, you wouldn't put it here because it's a bit confusing. So click here and type 5. Sorry, no, we're going to go 6mm from the edge. We're going to do the same, but horizontally now. So dimension, click the middle, click this, move your mouse upwards or downwards, down to you, and we're going to change that one to 6 as well. And you'll see that shoved our circle 6 from the left and 6 from the top. Right, we're done with that now, so we finish our sketch. You see what I mean about working left to right? And we're going to extrude this guy. There we go. But we need to make a hole. So at the moment, if we, sorry, I'll just do that again for you, I've rushed that. Click extrude. Now, it hasn't by default realized that the circle needs extruding. It's asking you for the profile, so you will need to select what you want to extrude. So it's this bit, and we want to cut material. So this option adds material, this one below it cuts material. Now we only want to cut in 8.5mm. I think that's right. We'll find out in a minute. All right, and you can see that hole, if we rotate our view, is cutting 8.5mm in. Click OK. Right, we've made the first part of the keyring hole. We're now going to do the same on the top. So you're going to click Start 2D Sketch, click on the top. Now pay attention to where the hole was before. The hole was down here. We want the other hole to line up with it. So we're going to make our circle roughly above that hole so that if it punched down through, it would be into it. We need it to be 5, and we need the same dimensions again. So I'm going a bit quicker. So dot to the side, we want that to be 6. Dot to the bottom, we want that to be 6. Finish your sketch and extrude. Again, it's asking you what profile. It's that bit. We want to cut material, and it's already set to 8.5. Now if I've done my maths right, that should bottom out at the bottom of that hole perfectly. Brilliant. Okay, so it does the job. All right, you're nearly there. We've made 3 features now, and you need to get on lockdown what a feature is. So if you look in your history now on the left, the first feature we made was extrusion 1, where we drew this 2D sketch here and we extruded it into there. That's called a feature. This is a sketch, you extrude it, becomes a feature. We then did extrusion number 2, which was this hole on the left, and we turned it into that hole. So we've got 1 feature, 2 features, and then we made the 3rd feature, which is that hole through the top. All right, I will be using these terms, feature, part, sketch, assembly, and you need to be totally familiar with them. Okay, now you're going to round the corners, which is a feature. So this we can do without making a sketch. We've got all our extrude tools and whatever here, but if you go further along, you'll see there's a whole bunch of other tools. We're going to use one called fillet, and the clue's in the picture. And by the way, if you hover over these pictures, you get quite a nice little image come up that shows you what they do. So you can see from that there, it will take a 90-degree edge and round it out for you. Likewise, this shell one, it shows you it will hollow out a shape, but we'll play with these in future videos. So select fillet, and you could go around picking each edge if you want. So you could click an edge and you'll see it's rounded it, and much like extrusions, you can drag the bar and go mental, or you can type a number. We're going to go with 3. Now, you could pick edge and pick one at a time, but that's going to take you ages to select all of them. You could pick loop and you'll see that will pick an entire side at once, or you could pick feature and just click the whole thing, and that will round every outside edge on the feature. We want it rounded to 3. Click the tick, inspect your handiwork, practice your middle clicking and shift maneuvers as I showed you at the start of the video. Right, all you've got left to do now is to write your initials on it. If you don't have a boring 3-letter name like me, Rob, then just put 2 letters. Go crazy. So, how do we do letters? Well, like everything, they start with a sketch. So, back to sketch. Click on the face you want to write the letter. So I'm going to pick this one because I've already got a hole in that one and it wouldn't look very good. So click on here and you've got the text tool, and just click roughly where you want to type the text. You'll get this little window appear. So I'm going to type the letter R. I'm going to highlight it and put it bold. You can change the font if you want, that's up to you. But the important thing to set here is the height of the text. Now, I know this whole cube was 20 millimeters tall. I'm going to set my text to 12 millimeters high because I found that a good compromise to fill up the space. Okay, you could make it smaller, you could make it bigger, but remember, this is only 20 mil high in total. So if I zoom out, that's probably about actual size. You don't want to make it too small or it won't come out on the printer. So I've made my letter R. You can drag it around and sort of centralize it. And by the way, if you hadn't worked it out, this cube up here, if you click on it, so say you click on that face there, it will orientate your view to that angle. So if you're trying to get a dead straight on view that you can't achieve by using the mouse, you can just use the cube to bring you. All right, we've positioned it, click finish, but that is not yet a cut. That's just a graphic, if you like. So to turn it into a whole, we need to use extrude. It's asking what profile. Well, the profile is the letter R. We obviously want to cut material, and I would suggest cutting in maybe 2 millimeters and clicking OK. And you can see what that's done. So now it's just rinse and repeat. So I'll do the remaining 2 letters and I won't talk, you just watch. That's 2. You'll see when you get good at it, it's quite quick. Another sketch. Text. B. Make it bold. Make it 12. By the way, here I'm right clicking and choosing OK just so that I can then select the text and move it about. So that bit I did brush over. Finish. Extrude. And cut. Right, and if you've achieved that, and you've used the exact dimensions I have, I'll know if you've done it yourself, because when we print them out, it should be the same size as my cube, and it should have your name on it. So you can't really cheat on this exercise. All right, that's it. Save your work, and now load video 2, which will be linked, because that will show you how to take this. And I'm going to try something really cool here. Let's see if this works. Turn on the webcam. Oh, that's looking at me. Right, you're going to send it to those lovely things over there, the 3D printer. Okay, I don't know why that's so small. Cool. Anyway, that concludes the video.